Comic Book Wars, episode 32, the comicbookspeculation.com podcast. I am Jim Linguini, and I will talk faster than everybody here. You guys can introduce yourselves, I guess, if you want to. You should do it clockwise, though, or counterclockwise, or whatever.
Which one? No, I'm confused.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I will talk really slow, so it makes it seem like Jimmy was real fast. This is Sleepy Jawn. We are here to conform to Jimmy's wishes and his demands as humans, not only on the podcast.
Oh.
I'm Nico, your weekend update correspondent with comicbookspeculation.com. I will try to talk at a normal human pace to be different from both James Lamborghini and Sleepy the Jawn.
I like talking fast.
Thank you.
I don't know if
Who's
you guys
excited?
I don't know if you guys have caught up with our YouTube channel, but on Friday, the third video in our top 100 modern comics series went live. I think it's pretty solid. John came up with it and did all the work on that again, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, those videos are great. I enjoy watching them, and it's nice to not be on them because then I can watch them and enjoy them.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
If you're on it, you usually don't.
So can our viewers, since I'm not on them. You know what I mean? They can also watch them and enjoy them. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
I like that one for us.
And I don't know. We have other ones ready to go, but
yeah.
I mean, they'll happen eventually, I guess.
No, here we go again.
No, you mean no? It's usually my fault. You say, you tell me, "Hey, let's go," and then I'm just like, "It's too late."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to. So it's usually my fault.
So we're through.
But it will happen, I'm sure, eventually.
We did 100 through 61 so far, so we have 2 more episodes to get to number 1. And so far, I don't think we've had anybody that's yelled at us about missing any books on the list, which I'm kind of surprised. I figured somebody would say, "What about this book?" Because I do think there are some out there that are probably missed. And I'd be interested to hear what they are.
Yeah. Well, once we finish the list.
Someone's butthurt enough to comment about it, they probably also think that book should be higher on the list than it really should be.
Well, yeah, I've heard a few people say that we need to add like news stands and stuff, but I don't know. Who knows?
We ain't doing that. It makes it too difficult doing that.
Big news from today, I guess, is where we'll start. I've heard about this from Key Collector. So apparently Ursa is appearing in the Black Widow movie.
Who's Ursa?
Ursa Minor. I thought this was like rumored or close to being confirmed a long time back. And the
first appearance is 258. Well, Key Collector today put out an alert about it, saying that there's speculation that it's a she, I guess. She appears in the trailer.
Yeah. I don't know what she looks like, honestly, but it might be. So they released like a longer trailer at the Sao Paulo, Brazil convention, and they've slowly been releasing like parts of that on Marvel's Twitter. That they haven't released the whole trailer here in the U.S. yet for whatever reason. So I'm assuming it was part of that.
Yeah.
And you guys running out and buying these books at market price?
Not at market price.
This was at least rumored a long time ago. When I say a long time ago, maybe 6 months or so.
What's it trading at?
It's hitting $20 to $40. Trading, he says. But yeah, it's hitting $20 to $40. So who knows?
Cool.
All right.
You can probably find it for $1.
I mean, I've looked. I looked today at a store.
I had. Next time I hit dollar boxes, I'll be like.
I also picked a trade paperback, and then I went through their bins, and I swear to you, they must have looked at their cameras, saw that I had this trade paperback, and upped the price on their computer. I guarantee they did that because it was like the third time I bought the same trade paperback there, and then when I brought it to when I walked past the owner, he looked at me.
That's actually $45.
That's how much they said it was. They said like they rung my stuff up. They said $65. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, oh, the trade paperback. It's actually $45. I don't know what's going on with this. I said, what? And then yeah, anyways.
At least they let you get 2 out of there.
How much was it supposed to be?
$20.
Well,
I have an article coming up about that particular book and about how it's sold out and how like you can find it and like I think I sold one for like $60 was the last one I sold, and I have another one on eBay. But then I found another one, so I was like, oh yeah, but they wouldn't let me.
Is it the Alf Compendium by chance?
I'll talk. No, but anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about today's news of there's
a good lesson there though, right? Leave no copies behind.
They didn't have no. They only had one. See, that's the thing. They had one, smart. And I purchased it, and then like I went the next day, and then I went the next week, and they had replaced it. So I purchased the second one, and then when I
oh, they're smart.
So
them's the Spartans.
Anyways, okay. The other big news that came out today that nobody seems to know where it's coming from, except from Key Collector, of course, is that Lady Mechanica is apparently has been optioned by Amazon. Now, if you remember, Joe Benitez, the creator, that's how you say his name, who knows, said it was optioned back in 2017. And but Key Collector put out an alert that said that Amazon has optioned it as a series. So has Key Collector ever been wrong when they've put it out a thing? I think the only one was the Monstrous one, and I think they quickly corrected that. Am I wrong? Did they put out an alert about the Monstrous or not?
I don't know. I haven't seen shit about but I also have seen Nick get stuff about 9 months early.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think he's been wrong. But in 2017, we did know that this was optioned. It's just now we're hearing from Key Collector that it's been Amazon.
No, so Nick's got really good sources these days.
He has a track record that hasn't really shown that he's been wrong. I could be wrong. I'd love to hear somebody saying when he's been wrong, but I can't think of a time when he's been wrong about an announcement. People can be wrong about first appearances and things like that. Because I mean it happens. Everybody's human. There's errors, but I don't think he's been wrong about the optioning, except for the Monstrous thing, which was just another series of the same name.
Let me ask you guys about this.
And he wasn't the only one who was fooled by that. I mean, I put out an article about that too, and a few other people did too. So I don't think
sometimes you put out some sketchy articles though. So
that's kind of weird, but. I mean, I think
let me ask you guys about Lady Mechanica. Have either of you read it?
No.
It's beautiful art. I've not read it either.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's gorgeous. My question is like,
took like 5 years to get 5 issues out though. That's why I think it
right.
Well, because he does everything and his art is so detailed, just takes him forever. I think.
Non-player. It reminds me of like that schedule. Like like 2 years here, we're gonna get a 5th print of the
3 issues.
Same issue. Damn. And there's been a number of series like that over the years, but is that the book to buy? You took my next question out of
okay, so this is the first issue is number 0.
Okay.
I believe there's a few variants of that. Am I wrong? What's the first issue in your
number
opinion?
Number 1 is the first issue.
Okay. And no. And there's a 1-page.
Yes,
there's a 1-page pinup.
Came out after.
I disagree. And there's a 1-page pinup in the Aspen Comics World of Aspen 2010, which is the first published appearance. It's just a 1-page panel though.
The World of Aspen in 2010.
It was a free It was the free comic book day.
Aspen, never would have guessed it.
So
could they just change the number on that and just put that out every year? World of Aspen 2019.
How are you telling me that that number 1 came out before 0? I don't think that's accurate.
Yep, definitely. Go on.
I don't know what it is with you. But yeah, there's a few variants and stuff and a lot of different printings. So, because I know there were very low printings on the initial run. So who knows? But
yeah, number 1.
Those books flying off the.
Campbell.
Yeah, those books flying off eBay or no? I haven't had a chance to look.
I didn't check.
I don't think it's
been. So that's how it works.
I don't think it's been confirmed yet, and the only people who really know are people who have the Key Collector app. So that's like 20 to 30,000 people.
I don't know. Is that what the number's at?
I don't know. I'm assuming. Like, who knows?
You just pulled that out of nowhere?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking to myself, like, how many people would pay for that? I could see 20 to 30,000 people.
That's a lot.
But
That's our buddy Nick getting it done. What's up?
That'd be pretty sweet if it was that many.
It ends up being like
highly doubt it.
3,000. Dude, if it's more than like 500, he's solid. Anyways, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think it's
Quite
more
a
than
few
500.
copies are selling. If you look up Zero, cover B is selling as well as the incentive sketch variant. So there's a few that are selling. And of
I
course,
got a couple of those.
when you look it up on eBay, issue
one.
0 says that it's the first appearance of blah blah blah.
Well,
blah,
eBay
blah.
is
So,
is right.
blah
a
blah
lot
blah
of,
blah 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 blah, John. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
It's all very intense.
I agree. I also
Whatever,
read.
Like people at festivals, intense.
No.
That's a different thing. All right, next.
Next, he says,
Yeah.
this happened over the weekend. There was the CCXP, which is what the Comic-Con Experience São Paulo in Brazil, right? And they had a Marvel Studio panel. You
We
guys
should have
remember
definitely
that?
gone. Do you know how nice Brazil is this time of year?
No,
Oh my
why would I
God.
ever go there? You want to get shot?
It looks
For the
pretty sweet.
statue to touch
Don't
the
they get-
statue. You gotta
Isn't
climb though.
security or not security? Isn't it very unsafe? Here it's very unsafe.
Yeah.
Anyways, at
I'd
this
like to
Marvel
go.
panel,
It's not great.
there was an
Like me.
Eternals, Winter Soldier, Falcon. Oh yeah, Eternals, Winter Soldier, and Falcon, and Vision, Scarlet Witch footage was shown. We also saw a new poster for Black Widow.
Cool.
So
and they
within
had
that
a longer trailer for Black Widow, like I said.
within that
different
footage, we saw that Sparky the dog was involved in the WandaVision show.
Yeah.
You guys know Sparky the dog?
Yes, is a zombie dog.
So Sparky, that's true. Well, no, their real dog died, and then he like made a new dog.
He took the brain out of it.
You're right. He did take the brain out of it. You're completely correct. Sparky the dog's first appearance is the Vision 6. And again, that's when the real dog dies and the Vision takes his brain out of it and makes a new dog.
Yeah.
But this book is from the Tom King run. Now, sure, it's stupid. Oh, it's a dog. Ooh, this is Cosmos all over again, right? Remember Cosmos Spec?
Yeah.
From Guardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, it's garbage. No, here's why I think this is important. And you guys can correct me at any point. This could be a great indicator that this series is going to be based on the Tom King run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And
did they not say that already?
Yeah, for the record, you know who was right about that?
there's been nobody
ago?
has ever said that. People have been talking about that. I mean, I've been hearing Nico I've been hearing Nico talk about that forever. I haven't heard anybody else talk about that, honestly. But I've heard Nico talk about that forever. And
oh, you know what I'm thinking of.
and also we also know that there's these two first appearances, right, of the kids, and we also know that there's the twins in another book, and we know that there's supposed to be kids in this book, or not in this book, in the
Twins
series.
another book. You're getting stuff all mixed up now. You're talking about the twins from Young Avengers. Oh, okay, I got you.
No, I'm talking
Scarlet Witch's kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, my point is, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I think that these books might be good books to be grabbing right now.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
who knows? I mean, the Vision one sells for about $20 already, so who knows where we're going with that?
I was thinking.
Oh, apparently
Tom
Key Collector alerted this in early 2018. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I mean, that's possible, but now we have, I think, some connections that might confirm it. Sorry, what was that, Sleepy?
Tom King's the co-writer on the Mr. Miracle, the New Gods movie. They're using his Mr. Miracle run. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. For whatever reason, I just assumed they were using this, but yeah. I think it's good.
It confirms the news for sure.
Yeah.
What I thought was most interesting about the news that came out about the series, though, is that some of the episodes, or at least one of the episodes, was filmed before a live studio audience. I think that's kind of a bold move, right?
Really?
To try to capture that 1950s flavor, as you can see.
I mean,
there.
I don't see that lasting. I think
but that's
probably
cool.
going to be a segment.
That is cool.
I
didn't hear that part. That is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I'd like to get tickets to that. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
All right, worst graphic in America. Son of a bean.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen you send me a better graphic But yeah, I believe it's
I
time
only
for
have
Nico
worse
time.
graphics.
Usually we have this towards the end, but I want to reshuffle things a little bit. And I also have this sweet pointer, so I can point things around. Like I can do circles and I can make squares. So yeah, you guys ready?
You got all the geometric shapes. Then.
Yeah, I got all the shapes ready.
Squares.
You ready,
Circles
Nico, for
and
Nico
squares.
time? I don't hear a yes, and I don't hear a no. So let's see.
Yeah,
so the first book that you want to talk about is Marvel Mystery Comics 51. CBCS graded 6.0, sold on my comic shop for $1,600.
Oh.
Yeah, so there are 3 big Marvel Mystery Comic sales. They all sold in less than 12 hours after they were listed. I know that because Marvel Mystery Comics is in my saved searches, and I check them daily, right? So these ones popped up early in the morning and were gone before the end of the workday. The reason that I think these books were so appealing to whomever purchased them is that they're all from the personal collection of Frank Bruner. For those who are not familiar with Frank Bruner, he's a renowned artist from the 1970s. He did work on Creepy, Doctor Strange, Eerie, Howard the Duck, Vampirella, and other comics. Marvel Mystery Comics 51 is a particularly cool book. It shows like a torture scene where someone's about to be branded with a swastika. This is a Schomburg cover, and this particular book is in really nice shape. Now, here's what's interesting. It is a 6.0, and we saw it sell for $1,650. The last recorded sale on GPA was an 8.5 for $3,000 back in March of this year. On the CGC census, we've got a total of 50 copies of this book. 42 are universal, 7 is restored. There's 1 qualified copy.
Okay.
All right. Next book.
So that was what was that? 5.0? 6.0.
6.0.
So that sold for over half of what an 8.5 did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we start to get up in the 8.5 range, I mean, you're talking about a real small percentage of the total number of books. Even a 6.0, I think, in most buyers' minds would be considered a high grade copy.
Yeah. Number
63. It's a 4.5 conserved. The book has tear seals and conservation to the first wrap and centerfold. It's professional restoration, so it gets a purple stripe if it's a CGC book. This CBCS 4.5 sold for, and I can't see what the price is, guys. Can you help me?
Some money.
Can nobody read what that sold for?
$1,650.
Thank you. So again, the book's from Frank Bruner's personal collection. So what we've seen recently is CGC open up and accept submissions for new pedigrees. And the question in my mind is that what is going on here? Is the buyer perhaps going to try and petition CGC?
Sorry, what did you say?
CGC, they're accepting submissions for new pedigrees to get that.
No,
yeah, to get the gray thing.
Yeah, that's
only for ones they've already recognized.
Yeah, they're not recognizing any more pedigrees. That's why these guys went to CBCS. CGC has made it pretty clear that they're not adding anything else to their.
No, they did. They did accept some new ones recently. I don't know why they said no. We're not having.
No, they're not starting. They're not starting a new one. What was the new one they started?
I can't remember. I remember they announced it, and I was like, they just said they weren't accepting any new pedigrees.
Yeah,
like a year ago they did.
I'm not here to be critical of CGC's pedigree practices, but like Sleepy said, I would say when you say, hey, this is a new pedigree, you are in fact accepting submissions for new pedigrees, right?
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, good luck. CGC, that was the first one they've announced in 10 years?
Yeah,
the Windy City collection. Yeah, I think that was what it was. But CGC, that's the first one in years. So I good luck. And the personal copy thing they don't do anymore. So
Oh, really? They won't even put that on the label?
No. So if they get resubmitted to CGC, no matter how many petitioning you're going to do, it's not going to work because you have to have there has to be a minimum number of books.
Yeah.
And I don't think.
I have no idea what Bruner's collection looks like. Similarly, I think you'd be out of your mind to crack and resubmit these because they're from Bruner's personal collection.
Well, I mean, you still have the label, right? Like, I think they're probably graded, I think they're probably graded lower than CGC would grade them, so I'd probably regrade them. Anyways, what's the third book? The third book, another Marvel Mystery, right?
Yeah.
Marvel Mysteries Comics 10. Now, this is another restored one, correct? Yes, restored. It has color touch, and there's been pieces added to the cover. The cover looks great, though. This one sold for $13.20, and it's a CBCS 6.0 restored.
Yeah. Well done, Jimmy. Yeah, okay, so cool. Here's kind of the thing about
it has
this,
a Titanic cover too, like a Titanic movie when like everybody's falling off the Titanic.
No,
that's not in fact the Titanic.
You know, because the Titanic goes boom, and then all the people go ah! And and then you see like those guys, like the whole band falls, and then James Cameron has like the camera. You know what I mean? Anyways, it looks like that. I like it.
Yeah. Well, regardless, here's sort of my thought. Everyone and their brother is jumping on these Submariner 1 copies from the Silver Age. For my money, I'd try to find Golden Age Submariner comics. If you want to make a spec play on the Submariner, the safest bet in the world, the books that aren't going to depreciate if for some reason he's not cast in the Black Panther or doesn't appear in Fantastic Four Volume 1 or whatever in the new MCU is one of these Golden Age books. That doesn't necessarily mean that you got to drop $3,000 on a Marvel Mystery Comics number 10. There's a lot of his books that are in the $500 to $1,000 range, but that's about the buy-in. For like a 7.0, 6.0, 7.0, 8.0, 9.0. and above with Submariner 1. So I like it. Next book, we talk about hack and slash because it's one of my personal favorites. Here's what I got a kick out of with this one was the Tim Seeley CGC Signature Series copy selling for, I think, a pretty big number. There was one other sale this year for $400. I think there are some artists, and we talked a little bit last week about the disfavor that a lot of these CGC Signature Series books have now compared to what they were like 10 years ago. But there are certain artists, and we've seen with the influx of books that people are submitting for Todd McFarlane, where certain creators just, they bring big numbers. Seeley's one, Kirkman's another, Donnie Cates, Tom King, you name it. But these guys have reached pseudo-celebrity or actual celebrity status within the community. And I think Seeley certainly has a super strong fan base. So I liked this one. And I thought, since we talked a little bit about Signature Series books that weren't A, B, or C-list celebrities like Jimmy enjoys, that we should talk about some of the guys from our hobby. All right. So there's two books that I wanted to talk about. Did Jimmy put them both up? The Siege 3, we can see it here, right? And the Wolverine 1. You did not pick the copies that I wanted you to. Remember I sent you photos of sold listings?
They weren't sold.
That's exactly the point. Right. That's exactly the point.
No, here's the thing, because since they've been relisted, they don't show up. The thing is,
they've not been relisted.
Why do you want to talk about these books? These books are dead end books that nobody cares about. These books, like,
if you'd fucking listen,
I'm listening. Go on.
You're not.
So let's start with this one.
You basically just wait to talk. You remind me of my ex-girlfriends, only you're less attractive. Anyway,
better kiss her though.
I'll take your word for it, and I won't try to experience anything of the sort myself. So here's what I think happens a lot of the times. There's been a new GPA app, right? From time to time, we see things like flipper tools go down, and you put big books, books that maybe you have in your personal collection. Maybe you just keep them there because you're looking for an underpriced copy to pull the trigger on in your saved searches. And boom, it appears as if they've sold, right? This was 2 prime examples. I wish I could have showed you the actual listings from the artwork that I sent, or the screen grab.
When was this? You just send screenshots, and now I have to find them. You sent me a Siege 3 Deadpool variant, blue label, CGC 98.
Right.
That was $1,900 at $99 unsold. Right. The other one was a Wolverine one.
And it
Campbell.
didn't sell.
Right. And it said $4,500.
Right. But they both appeared to have sold. And so
no, neither of them appear to have sold. What are you talking about? None of them even show up in my listings because they were relisted. I don't know what app you're looking at. I don't even see them when I look them up.
Again, you don't listen. You wait to fucking talk.
You told me to find the stupid things. I wait to talk. You sent me these stupid listings and said find these pictures.
I hope this isn't as painful to our listening audience as it is to me. But here's kind of the takeaway.
This is why I'm glad we did this earlier.
Here's the takeaway.
This is fucked. This guy is fucked.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
I really appreciate your criticism, Jimmy. It's thoughtful and insightful.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, John. So here's kind of the warning, right? If you do this, if you just keep these books in your watch list and you don't go back and look to see if they've sold on GPA, you don't go back to look and because flipper tools are down, GPA takes some time in the future to list, right? They'll appear as if they've sold.
Neither of these books even show up
only to you because they're in your watch list, and it doesn't have to. Right, which is what happens with a lot of auctions for some considerable amount of time afterwards. But if you don't promptly search to check your watch list, it appears as if there's actual sold items when there are none. So this was kind of like a cautionary tale. Another cautionary tale is to try not to explain things when Jimmy's having an emotional meltdown, because then you suffer from his emotional instability. I'm supposed to
find images of things on your watch list
you just
that have expired. That you can't find them, so I can't find a listing for them. I can't find it. Anyways, this guy's
not accurate, Jimmy.
It is accurate. Show me it is accurate.
I'm not trying to debate the issue with you. I'm not really concerned about your opinion. But
thank you for those. Thank you for those.
Yeah, John, I appreciate your support. It's very kind of you. God have mercy on the soul of anyone in the viewer audience. Yes, Christ.
So DC was also at the CCXP, and they showed and a new Birds of Prey trailer came out, which showed Harley's hyenas, or it looks like there may only be one in the movie for some reason. She has 2, Lou and Bud. But all the scenes that I've seen, and it was in a number of scenes in this extended trailer. I only saw one. Maybe I missed it. Wasn't watching closely. The thing that's interesting to me is that back in January of this year, they showed there was some screen grabs of there was some on-set photos released on Twitter of Harley at the exotic pet shop where she most likely purchased these, which is in the trailer now. So we've known about this for a while. It's just starting to come out. Jimmy, if you could flip to the next slide or two there. So on the left is the scene from the movie. On the right is the picture that was released back in January. So you can see they pretty much line up as to when that was taking place. The only thing that I wanted to mention about this is a book that I've picked a few up of, because their first appearance is Batman Adventures 12, so probably not getting those. Harley Quinn Volume 2, Number 8. This is a 1 in 25 variant that I think is a pretty decent spec option. I don't expect to see much movement up until the movie. If the movie is received well, I think that people could be looking for some of the books with the hyenas in it, and I think this is a cool one to pick up. Now, I don't know, did you guys watch this new trailer? I actually thought that it looked pretty decent. Her voice annoys me. But otherwise, I thought it looked pretty good. You guys no? Okay.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. Did you notice that they're playing the Harley Quinn animated series on TBS?
You had mentioned that on TBS
Or TNT, or I don't know. Whatever I sent you.
The one with Kaylee Cuoco doing the voice?
Yeah. And it was
oh, so it's not on the DC channel?
No, it's on there too, but they're playing it on again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Whatever I sent you, TBS or TNT.
Okay.
It was on Sunday night at like 10, 11 o'clock, and they heavily censored the profanity, which was substantial. I mean, like I saw about 2 minutes of it, you know what I mean? And it was so substantial that it made it like unwatchable.
So I wonder why
much like Jimmy's rants make the fucking podcast unwatchable. You know what I mean? It's very comparable.
I haven't seen one yet, but I'll watch out for those.
I hear it's good. I haven't seen it. I heard it was so good. In fact, people are kind of disappointed that she wasn't cast in some live action version.
Okay. Yeah. Jimmy's gone mute. Oh
no, I'm here. I think. Am I here? I think I'm here.
Yeah.
The other big news that came out this week was that the HBO Strange Adventures TV show isn't going to be based around Adam Strange. It's actually going to be based around Booster Gold.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that part of it. That's interesting.
Yeah, Jimmy, where did you hear that?
That's in the original announcement.
Okay.
On thewired.com. That says it's going to be within the CW universe.
Yeah, they did say it was going to be on CW.
Yeah. So,
but the Strange Adventures was supposed to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, and so is Green Lantern. They're both going to be within the CW universe. And they're going to have the HBO budgets. But they're going to be... yeah, you're hearing me right. But they're going to be premiering on the CW as well as HBO Max.
What?
Green Lantern.
This makes no sense.
Look into it. I didn't talk
hear
about
what you're
this,
saying
because it's stupid. I believe I posted about it on Facebook.
You did. You were also the only person that reported that, and I just hoped you'd got it wrong. Son of a bitch.
Well, you can look into it yourself. I mean,
it's heart-wrenching. I'm praying to God that it's not accurate.
On Facebook, I try to post things about comic books and comic book related stuff. I don't know, not about banana art, so I don't know.
What about?
What? I'm just talking. I can talk shit.
So that's kind of interesting because they announced.
Shout out to Vinny Kumar. I'm glad you were at the event.
That Green Arrow is gonna Stephen Amell's gonna become Spectre on the TV show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know where we're going with it. But
that show is ending though. But they have, I think, right?
Yeah, they're gonna make the one dude Green Lantern. I guess that sounds terrible.
I know. Well, there was announcements. There was announcements a while ago that DC was working on a Blue Beetle Booster Gold TV show. I think it was a movie actually.
It was a movie, yeah.
Yes, and there was tons of different people reporting on that, and there was developments and stuff from that. So
an adult,
I remember,
Gold would be awesome.
I remember when we talked about that on the podcast, and you were like, "Well, this is the second time this has come out, and it's the same guy writing about it, and nobody else is." So, basically saying like, "Is this real?"
So we'll see where this goes. Was that what I said about Booster Gold? What was
the
that
Booster
guy?
Gold and Blue.
Yeah, no, people still like Umberto.
Blue Beetle movie.
No, it's not him, is it?
No, this is a real thing that's happening. It was on Wired.com.
No, it's not him.
Yeah.
That guy has worse information than MCU Cosmic.
What's happening here? What happened? Look, now there's errors. Look, somebody jinxed me, I guess. Somebody jinxed it, and now there's errors. We got technical difficulties. I think Booster Gold is pretty much DC's Iron Man. What do you guys think?
DC's Iron Man.
Yeah, so pretty much what he is.
Shit.
Like,
He's a raging alcoholic.
Well, you know Biff in Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How he takes the sports program, and then he like bets a bunch of stuff and becomes like this billionaire, right?
Sports
Yeah, so that's pretty much what Booster Gold does, right? He gets a time machine, and he's like the richest person ever, and goes back in time and starts going to historical events and being a hero. You know what I mean? So he goes to like things when he knows that there's going to be a tragedy, and he
Is that really what happens?
Yeah, and
Booster Gold would be amazing if it was like an adult show.
After he was introduced after Crisis on Infinite Earth, so that follows the storyline that we're going through right now on
all the CW shows.
Yeah, right. I'm not following it that closely. I don't watch that stuff. But anyways, I like it because again, he's a millionaire, or he's a rich guy from the future who again just uses a time machine and does this hilarious stuff.
Speaking of that,
become like this famous celebrity or whatever.
The Crisis on Infinite Earth series, the George Perez stuff, that's seeing some movement because of the TV show. People are liking that, and it's selling for good money apparently. Yeah,
I've noticed that that book is finally seeing its day. Another book I wanted to mention,
the Watchmen over there,
is Justice League #4. Is the it's no. Booster Gold joins the Justice League in this issue, and
an unsettling cover.
But he stays a member of the Justice League until
there's a member joke there.
Until I believe the New 52 relaunch.
Members only.
So,
oh my god,
I don't know where they're gonna go with this. I know that he has a few costumes. I know Key Collector put out a different few books that are good books
that
for
one,
it. These are the two books that I've always. These are just the two books I've always liked.
Yeah, that one is also, I believe, the first time that Booster Gold and Blue Beetle meet.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Yeah, I remember looking that up when that first news came out about that movie.
I just know that I always find it in the dollar bin, and I've actually stopped grabbing them recently because I have so many of them. And I was like, is this really ever going to happen?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, there's another episode. There's another issue where he meets the Justice League. This is the one where he joins them and becomes a team member. So, cool. These were released too, right? At some Comic-Con over the weekend. Which one was that? Was that the Brazil one again, or?
Yeah, same one.
The Brazil one. Okay.
Gal Gadot. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So Key Collector put out an alert, which it's cool. You could see there that Wonder Woman in her Golden Eagle armor, which first appearance of that is Kingdom Come #3. If you're into buying books just for costume changes, that's the one you want to look for. But the other thing was we finally got to look at Kristen Wiig, who is Cheetah. And what the director said was, it was funny. Nico goes, where's the cheetah in the costume? The director said that they're not really going to do her in a costume. It's mostly just going to be makeup. And you can see like that she's got a lot of cheetah print outfits and whatnot on. So doesn't seem like they're going to do it like the comics. Have you guys ever read the comic book, like the origin of her, #9?
Can't say I did, no.
It's very interesting. It's basically she goes through like a tribal ritual, and this guy and drapes her in cheetah skin, and she becomes a cheetah basically. But she looks just like a human. She's still got her human form. She just basically has cheetah fur over her. It's kind of it's interesting. I actually want to read it again just to see what the heck is going on. And the other thing I never realized was, so issue 7's first Barbara Minerva, and 9 is where she becomes Cheetah. Issue 8 is just like this random story that like is about the history of Wonder Woman and has nothing to do. It's like so odd that they just put it right in between an ongoing story arc.
Sorry, what's the first? What are these books?
7 and 9.
7. What's the significance of them though? Sorry?
First Barbara Minerva, and then 9 is her becoming Cheetah.
Minerva being the
Barbara Minerva Cheetah.
Right.
Yeah.
The modern Cheetah.
Modern Cheetah. Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So cool. Oh, that Wonder Woman trailer looked great. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. It also has
it looks cool.
First look at Max Lord, who It looks pretty entertaining. I thought it looked really good. So we'll see. I think it'll be well received.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't
cool.
watch any trailers this week. Yeah.
Fair enough.
There was news about DMZ this week or the last few
Yeah,
days or something?
they're starting to cast for the TV show now for the I guess just for the pilot, I would assume. I don't think it's been picked up in full, but I could be wrong. So
They need so much content, though. I think it's kind of a safe bet. I mean, it's gonna have to really suck.
Yeah, I thought this project was dead in. I don't know. I don't remember. I thought this project was dead in the water when the Brian Wood sexual Me Too stuff. No, but I guess it's still going.
Barely not.
Well, that was a long time ago. It did die. Then HBO Max came along and they were looking for new content, I guess. So they're like, "What do you got on the shelf?" "Oh, we have this script here that's already written." Yeah, fire it up. Fire it up.
Here's what's interesting. The 2008 convention exclusive, at least for the time being, sells for more money. There's certainly less copies that have been slabbed.
That's weird.
Post dates the other issue by like 6, 8, 9 months. I think there'll be a price correction if people actually start to take a hard look at that. That's kind of my guess.
Have you ever been to a con where DC has been set up?
Okay.
Meaning they give stuff away for free?
Well, have you guys ever been to one where they?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Okay, well,
no, I have not.
Usually they have like a table of like goods, and they have like posters and buttons, and they have like these giveaway comic books. So I believe that during the time of this being released, they put them out. So the print run on this one would be enormous.
You're
the difference
on the convention exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes, because they printed tons of them to just be given away, and that's how they were given away. It says con exclusive, but they're given away at the show. I mean, now they do. They did what the young
Niobe.
Yeah, they did a Niobe one that I picked up a bunch of.
And people were saying that. Oh, okay.
After they said it was the last. Why? What were they saying?
Oh, I was just reading online. People are like, they just put stacks of them out and they keep refilling them.
Yeah,
and you can just go up and grab however many you want.
I mean,
when I was at the Fan Expo show, every day I was working, so every few hours I would check the DC booth, and then at one point I went and they had a stack, and I was like, holy shit! So I took a stack. I took a stack at 10. I walked over to my booth, I put them down, and I said, "Friend, come with me. We have to go over here now." We went over. We both took another stack of 10 each. And then we went back to the booth, and then I said, "Oh shit, we got to get another one." And I said, "Let's go over there." Like 5 minutes had passed; they were all gone by that point, and they hadn't put any more out. And they put by that point they put out it was about a stack of 100 of them at that point, and I wasn't greedy, I don't think, but within 5 minutes they were all gone.
Here's my question: how many?
And they didn't put out any more. But with the DMZ one, I do remember they put out like a bunch of these Vertigo ones. I don't remember the DMZ title per se. I do remember other Vertigo titles, and they're all trash now in retrospect. Like I think Garrison, the Wildstorm one was one, but how many? I think there were tons of these, 100,000, if not more.
There's no way.
Man. No, for sure, man. And at this point, DC was doing a lot more conventions than they do now. So. I think there's a lot out there, and it's very possible that there might even be boxes sitting somewhere at that DC just gave to a store or that a store has.
I would think that's true. Yeah.
But I do think there's shit ass tons of these out here.
25 to 50.
What was the other?
Still a huge number.
What was the other book? Why the Last Man 37? What? Oh, because that has the first preview of Brian Wood's DMZ. I didn't know that.
These Vertigo books, they used to do previews for a lot of them. So this came out like 3 months before DMZ #1. So like they did them for a number of books like Scalped and what was the other one? What the heck was that show that they made the TV show out of on CW? The Brains one, Mike Allred.
iZombie.
Yeah, that was in one of them. Stuff like that. So, and I never really hear anybody talking about that one. Probably can find it for $1 if you find a run of them.
Yeah, the thing I like about DMZ is not necessarily the book as a spec, as the fact that if it goes, it puts attention on war comics at DC, by Warner Brothers or Warner Media or whatever the hell they're called now. They've got so many of those properties, from Sergeant Rock to the Unknown Soldier, and it's kind of like when they were really failing with superhero films and TV shows, there were a lot of I think pretty experienced collectors who thought that potentially that was the direction they were going to go. Like, we'll just invest big in that. I don't think
they should maybe still look at doing that, because besides
I don't
Wonder
think they
Woman,
pulled that idea out of their ass. I mean,
besides Wonder Woman,
rumors of that.
Not much else going on the movie front. See,
Here's
how
what I'm
about
talking
this?
about.
You
We had
guys
news
excited?
about Lock and Key this
I'm absolutely
week, I guess.
thrilled.
I don't care.
What? Oh
But,
my gosh!
I think Joe Hill's a loser. Anyways, what's the big news
Wow.
about this? We've talked about this so many times too. So, what's the big
Talks
deal?
like that.
I do.
Just a quick
man.
recap. So it comes out February 7th.
Thank you,
So there
John.
is still time to get some books, maybe if you can find them at like a
What
local shop. or
network does
something.
it come out on?
It's Netflix.
Netflix.
So they'll all be
Did you guys
released
watch
at
V
once.
Wars? Did you
It's
guys watch V
horrible.
Wars that came out this week on
It's
Netflix?
unwatchable.
Did you watch some of it
Really?
or no?
I
No.
fucking turned it off after 25 minutes, and that was
Oh.
20 minutes after I decided that it was unwatchable.
I lasted 3.
I don't even know what happened.
You know when the
It was
one
just
guy,
like-
is like he's in like I guess he's in like the winter or something, and then like he just dies out of nowhere, and he's like
Oh,
You
you're
know what I'm
thinking of
talking about?
Game of
Like,
Thrones.
no,
You're
no,
confused.
right at the beginning, like
Yeah.
within the first
Right.
like minute, a guy
That
dies
was-
for
that
no
was when I should have
reason.
turned it off. Yeah.
Anyways, that's when I did turn it off. I was
Oh.
writing on the website. I said, "Oh, this is finally on," and then like I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually the worst thing ever." I just turned it off.
It was
But-
terrible. It was like low budget. I was like, what the hell is happening? It was
But
like,
anyway,
it was like if the three of us got together for a weekend and tried to shoot a TV show on a camera that we bought at Best Buy. I feel like we'd have a better result than that show. It was horrible.
But I don't know. So it comes February 7th. We have a date. What are these? These are the key books for it, or there's a few key books. Is that what you're saying? Ooh, get it, key books.
Nico was asking about the variants that they had for him. So Lock and Key #1. The one thing about that book is it's got a UPC. It's got the UPC on the cover. They did a second print, which looks exactly the same. The UPC they screwed up, so it doesn't say the second print. But there's something now that I recall about the IDW logo where it's a little bit different. Because the only other way you could tell was by opening it up. And I actually got them mixed up once. So there's a 1 in 25, which I've never seen, which is signed. And then there's these 2 dynamic forces. I would really only go after the first print or the second print if you can find them. And they're selling. I didn't check what they're selling for today, but they were over $100 when Netflix picked it up. And it's a great read. So I'm hoping the show does well.
He's amazing. Thank you, Joe Hill.
Yeah.
You mean thank you, Stephen King, for making Joe Hill? Okay, where are we at on the next one?
No, we weren't doing that.
Wednesday Warrior Guide for December 11th. This week sucks. There aren't like really that many good books to talk about, so I'm going to try to rush through it because it really depresses me.
Yeah, I left those behind.
So yeah, this week, Superman 18, we find out Clark Kent is Superman. Who cares? The only reason I'm mentioning this is because DC is pushing this really hard, and it's going to be through all various media places. Like I think New York Times will probably have an article about this and various other places. So this will be heavily pushed in the news. What will that mean for back issue sales? I don't know. There's also a variant cover, but like, who cares? I wouldn't order any copies. I think the last cover, 17, the one that they said that they're not doing a second print for, I think that's a better book than this because it leads up to it. But because people are going to want to know what leads up to this, so I think it happens in like page 3 that he just reveals itself. So it's a stupid issue. A lot of hype behind it. Way to go, Brian Michael Bendis. You're selling a great book for DC. You're making the money, whatever, however you want to look at it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Any other comments on that one?
No.
It's the end of comic books as we know it after the market crashes and Death of Superman Part 2 here in 2020. I'll be looking for a lot of key books. Can't wait for the market to crash. Yeah.
The only thing that's interesting with this is Supergirl, because if Superman reveals himself, then that reveals who Supergirl is, and I mean that pushes it on her. So I'll be surprised how they, or I'll be interested in how they deal with that. But I mean that's neither here nor there. Okay, next issue. This is what Scourge Silver Surfer #1. You guys hear about this book at all?
Scourge.
No.
It's Annihilation.
Didn't get any.
Okay,
Gotcha.
in this book, right? Silver Surfer is just like he's just chilling. He's like going asteroid to asteroid, and then bam, he
Hit by a bus.
he sees like this guy who's like, "Leave me alone! I want to kill myself," or whatever. Like, "Leave me to die." But then he finds out that that guy is Robert Reynolds. Robert Reynolds, you know, the former Sentry. And then what does the Silver Surfer do? They morph into each other, and he absorbs his powers, and they become a new character of some variety.
Is Donny Cates writing this one too?
No, this is by Abnett, Dan Abnett. Anyways,
okay.
they morph into each other. So
God.
Century 1's a book that's been going up quite a bit in the last little while. That's the first appearance of the Century, this character, obviously. And I don't know. I don't think that book's gonna do anything. I just think it's interesting. Again,
I just buy them every time
sucks.
I see them.
I'm not buying any of these books this week. I don't even think I'm going to go to a store tomorrow. So my point is, well, that's not true. I think I'm going to go into Stadium because I bought some Black Friday stuff. I need to pick that stuff up. But my point is, this week sucks, and I'm just going over nonsense of this week. So I just think this stuff is like it's good to know, I guess. But I mean, these aren't books that I would be picking up unless, again, you're a big Silver Surfer fan or the Century fan or a fan of characters that morph into each other.
Is it? Would you say Dan Abnett is Marvel's new Jim Starlin? He does like all the cosmic stuff.
I don't know.
He did that Guardians run that the movie's based.
Well, has he been good since him and that other guy broke up?
Lanning.
Lanning, because they were writing partners and they stopped being writing partners. Right? They had a falling out.
Well, I don't know. Does anybody watch Gene Siskel after Ebert died?
Yeah, but then he then he lost his neck, right? And then that was
there's an unpressable defects joke there that nobody was willing to make.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! And yeah, we could go through the variants of this. I see Alan is pointing out that, like, what about the variants? I don't think the Century is really going to do anything based on this news, so I didn't really think it was important to mention any of the.
I don't think it will, based on.
But there are other variants of this. I just wanted to say that this is Robert Reynolds. It's some kind of new character. I don't think it matters though. I don't think like, oh, are there variants? I didn't even look into that. Who cares? This is really like this is stupid.
Alan. Hey, for the record, Alan in the comments is making a great.
I know that's what I just said. I just said, did I not say that? But anyways, what next book?
No, better to pick up Century 1 Rosen variant or the San Diego Comic-Con variant.
I don't think it matters.
Thoughts?
I don't care.
Is the Rosen the
1 in 25?
What's the cover? Is that the Jack Kirby one? The San Diego one is. I don't like the cover, but it sells okay. I would just pick up the base cover because it does really well.
Well, black covers matter, man. But yeah, I like all three of those books. I think price is key. I haven't really picked a contender on that. I'd have to look at the census, but I think that's the way to do it is look at the CGC census and see what's got the smallest number of 9/8, and that's the one you want.
Not necessarily, but okay. Go on.
Really it is.
You gotta have people that want to buy it is the thing.
Okay, the other book that comes out this week that is highly anticipated is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100.
Golly, that comes
now.
out.
This is the end of the City at War storyline, which seems like it's been going on forever. There's a lot of store variants, so I wouldn't pick up this book. I'm not picking up any copies. I like the 1 in 25 one, but there's like 60 covers for this book. Splinter dies. Spoiler. Splinter dies for real this time.
Did you read it?
He died before, and he'll be brought back. No, I read spoilers. So
oh my god, it is so unreadable. You have to read this whole series. Like, I read because IDW sent this out to retailers like a week ago, or I don't know, a couple weeks ago, or whatever. It is. I tried to read it to see what the hell happens. I'm like, what is going on here? Who are these? Just like characters all over the place. Obviously, it's City at War, so they're like all spread out. But it was just, I couldn't follow it. I mean, you can't. It's not a book you can just pick up and just start reading. which is, the whole unfortunate reason why, that's the whole unfortunate reason why Marvel keeps rebooting things, because they say that people can't just pick books up and read them anymore.
Next book, Mr. Scrunchily Scrunch is over there.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Scrunchily Scrunch. The Red Mother 1 by the new Jeremy Hahn Boom Studios book. Boom has done it again.
Oh, it's Jeremy Hahn. I didn't realize it was Jeremy Hahn. Okay.
This book's sold out and in its third printing already. Beautiful. Okay. This is the first print on the left, second print, and third print. First print, sold out, second print, and then this is the new third print. This book isn't selling for anything right now. There's also this one per store variant, this thank you variant, that people seem to be hyping up a little bit. It's a virgin, so it looks exactly like this. But I just want to remind you, the last time Boom did a thank you variant, not including the Power Ranger one, because I don't think it's been enough time to really look at that, was for Heartbeat number 1, and the last sales on that were like $15, $20, and $30. So it's not, these aren't books that have been holding in value, unless, of course, this book gets optioned. Then I would assume that this would be the book to go for, or possibly the second print, which is a low print run. But again, I don't think this book is going to get optioned. Who knows? Maybe all of these will get optioned. Optioned.
Wasn't that book selling for like 100 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
there were 2 sales for like $80 on. So in mild defense of Red Mother, though, Heartbeat was a terrible read.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure Red Mother won't be either, but there was one sale of $25. So who knows? I mean, Jeremy Hahn did what? The Secret and another book I can't remember.
Secret was cool
though. Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Another book I like that comes out this week, the Digisaurus.
Is Adam Hughes getting worse every time he draws something, or is it just
Volume 3?
That one's not bad.
Well, so he did a cover C. They also did
he colored it. Maybe it's not bad.
They also did a cover D, which is a 1 in 50 virgin cover of this, and there's been a few sales of $60 to $80. I don't know who orders 50 copies of this title.
That's no problem.
Probably a maniac. So I'm sure there's a lot of copies out there, though, and Dynamite's going to be selling them, and Midtown will be selling them. But no, seriously, who would order 50 copies of this book? It doesn't. It makes no sense.
No idea. I was shocked that my friend ordered 1 copy.
The one store that Nico goes to, maybe they ordered 50 because they order these books for some reason.
No. This book I like. I like this book. Have you heard about this book? I'm not surprised.
No.
Okay, so Breathers.
Who's the writer on it, Jimmy?
Justin Madsen.
Oh, it's just the artwork then. Okay.
Yeah, so Breathers
is the artist.
Breathers was an Indiegogo book.
Okay.
And it's a 12-issue series, and there's 2 covers, these 2 regular covers to the left. And one's by Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent. Yeah, and there's this cover, that's this Indiegogo cover. Now, according to the Indiegogo campaign, only about 30, or I think it was like 25 copies were actually ordered of that cover. So I'm not sure how many are going to be out there, but stores couldn't order that. The cover straight to the right. So I'll be surprised where that goes. I think this book will be under ordered, and since it's 12 issues, we'll see where it goes. But I did pre-order a few of the Jeff Lemire covers. So
I just saw that cover. Yeah, I saw that cover. I figured it was a Jeff Lemire.
Listen, I have no problem saying what I buy and what I pre-order. I mean, this week there's not a lot going on. I mean, people in the chat are saying that
Jeff Lemire did something and you purchased it. Not an upset.
Well, people in the chat are saying, I mean, yeah, so Captain Marvel 13, we also find out, like we've already talked about this, right? That Vox Supreme really is Vox Supreme.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing that we mentioned is also mentioned in the chat by our dude Life of Agony, but I've missed it. But
I think you have it coming up, don't you?
No,
Dying is easy. No,
No, we got that. But yeah, he says, how about The Dark Knight Returns, Golden Child 1 in 100? We talked about that book, but I don't think that book's holding. Marvel Avengers Iron Man 1.
Did they pull the B cover?
I don't really know about that book, honestly. I don't really think that book's selling, though. I think that's the main problem.
B cover on the Golden Child, or no, just the ads for it?
No, they didn't pull it. They didn't pull those books. In that book, though, the Golden Child, the Batman one, the Frank Miller Grandpa one, which comes out this week. The Joker is a Trump supporter, and Trump is campaigning in the storyline. So I think it's interesting. We'll see where that goes.
And Frank Miller did that?
Yeah. The other book, which I guess is the last book, is Dying is Easy, the IDW book. Now, what's this all about, my dude Sleepy?
This is Joe Hill. It's a Joe Hill book, so I would like it, and then Jimmy would hate it. But the artist is Martin Simmons, who is also pretty talented. I like his work a lot. So I read they gave a 5-page preview of this to retailers. I thought it was very boring, so I would like to read the whole thing to see if it's any good. But the creative team I like a lot, and they had an ash can for this. So the ash can was given out at NYCC. I assume in the same manner like Jimmy mentioned earlier, that they probably just had them on tables and whatnot, or at panels. You can take as many as you want. It's my guess because Midtown ended up having them for free, one per person on their website for a while. So I think, like Jimmy said earlier, like they probably had leftovers and were like, Midtown, do you want us to take these? Since you're
I mean,
here?
depending on what show you're at, like I would never condone doing what I said I did, but depending on what con you're at, like it depends on who's working at the booth and how many people are working. Like you can't really do that. You can't take like piles of books. I mean, that's not kosher. Don't do that. It's not good. What I did wasn't okay. I don't like the publisher. I did it too, and I don't like the people who work at the booth. So I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Flip that and send it to whoever you want.
So I'm interested to see like what this is about. The premise is that it's like a cop who does stand up and he's dealing with his daily job. So there's a 1 in 10.
Turns out to be the Joker in the end.
Black and white, Gabriel Rodriguez, and then there's a 1 in 25, which is Martin Simmons variant.
Oh, that's what this is, the white cover?
Yeah.
The 1 in 25.
They're all selling like at or below ratio.
Cool.
They're not really doing anything great.
But yeah, that's it for our Wednesday Warrior thing of books I wanted to talk about. I mean, I don't know.
I thought you had Far Sector in there.
Far Sector 2?
Yeah.
No, Far Sector... Did Far Sector 2 come out this week?
I thought you had some
because
images.
I'm under the impression it got pushed back.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Anyways.
Okay. I mean, I didn't dig through the...
we'll talk about it. Listen,
but...
I promise you, we're going to talk about Far Sector 2. I promise you.
Oh.
Because there's nothing else to talk about. Marvel released this image on Monday, and they said, "Ooh, this is the most controversial team of X-Men team we've ever had. Just wait until you find out who it is." So I mean, already you can tell who 1 or 2 of the people are. But every day they revealed 2 characters, and we now know who the team is. So it turns out this team is the Hellions, and who do we have there? Cyclops, right? That's who this one guy is.
Cyclops?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, who is this? Who's on this team?
Havoc?
Okay, go on. Who else?
Psylocke?
Okay, there you go.
Mr. Sinister?
Okay, there we go. That's it. Boom. Boom.
And a bunch of people I don't care about.
Okay, so let's talk about the people you don't care about.
From the alternate universe, though? Because he's got the long hair.
Okay, so anyways, the first appearance of the Hellions is the New Mutant 16.
Okay, which one's the Hellions?
That's the whole team. So the team is the Hellions, right? So the first appearance of that team as a whole is the New Mutants 16. Now, this also is the first appearance of Empath, who, if you look on this cover, is also here somewhere.
Which one's that one?
Here somewhere.
Yeah, let's play. No one knows.
Guess which one?
X-Men for 200, Alex.
I'm guessing the guy in the leotard down at the bottom.
Empath can control emotions, which is why she's cool.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's very woke of you, Jimmy.
I don't know which one it is. That's why it's weird. But she can control emotions and drive people crazy, so it's cool. We'll see where that goes. But this book sells for nothing, so that's something to keep in mind. Another book is
Warpath.
Yeah, it's also it sells for nothing. It's also the first appearance of Thunderbird, Jimmy Proudstar, who later becomes Warpath, Cat's Eye, Jet's Ream. That doesn't sound right. Territ, and then Empath. So
Jetstream, maybe?
Yeah, Jetstream. That sounds about right. There's a T missing there. The Cat's Eye one, I don't think sounds right too. Yeah. Listen, guys. I send you this. You guys Giants. You guys add to it. You guys don't do anything.
You're doing great.
So.
Next.
I agree. So another character in this is Scalp Hunter. His first appearance is X-Men 210, where he appears.
I look for these books cheap. I've got, I'm sure a stack of them somewhere, but
X-Men
I couldn't
210
get them at the last show I was at. People had
X-Men
already
210,
cranked
he
up the
just
price
appears
tag.
in the shadows. X-Men 211, he has like a first full appearance, and he's like, I'm the leader of the Martyrs, and we're gonna kill you, blah blah, X-Men, and then they're like,
Marauders.
Is it? Whatever. Get into it. So, anyways, I think those are two good books to go for. But 210 is the first appearance that people talk about. 211 is a book I like more because you actually see his face and he says who he is. So,
And it's one of the border covers, which is cool.
Yeah. X Factor 30 is the first appearance of Orphan Maker, another member of the team. He's like an egg. So that's something that I picked up a bunch of these for $3 over the weekend. So
I was going to say that's the one I'm in on.
X Factor 31. Another one I was able to grab a few copies of for very cheap.
I like her.
The first appearance of Nanny. Now you can see just here, Ron, this is the first panel Nanny shows up on. You can see that Orphan Maker is very intertwined into his storyline. So these two characters are very buddy-buddy, and it's going to be fun. So
Orphan Maker's
that was
a
a
cool
great
name.
sale there, Jimmy.
Now, do I think that this book is going to do gangbusters? No. Do I think that these books are going to go from selling from $3 to from $1 to $3 to selling to $8 to maybe $10? Yeah, I do. So I that's all I'm saying. I don't think that these are big books. The book comes out in March, but I don't think that these are going to be like books that are going to make you rich. I do, however, think that these are books that are going to probably up a little bit in value. Well, that's who they announced it, so it's going to be Zeb Wells, and then the artist is Steven Seguva. Exactly. So I mean, I don't. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Right. I've been trying them. I've been trying all these X-Men books. By that I mean I've been buying them, hoping that I'll find the will to read them.
But I mean, everybody knows that by this point, I would assume that when it comes to around Christmas time and the holidays, I mean, comic companies don't publish the greatest books, so everything kind of slows down. So I just wanted to look into next week because this week's so sucky, as one might say. But next week is pretty much Star Wars variants and other nonsense. Another slow week. Far Sector 2. It was supposed to come out this week. I believe it's pushed back though. I could be wrong. There's only one cover. I think that's accurate. Now, when I look at this cover, I find it very interesting. Why is there a Funko Pop of this character here?
Who is that?
Because she's like the young hip.
Yeah, who is that? That's
millennial
John
that has
Stewart.
a Funko
Pop. No,
I don't know. Could be Simon Baz.
So, I think it was supposed to come out tomorrow, but it's been delayed. Life of Agony, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I think this is interesting. This right here. So I don't know what that means. She also looks very young. So I don't know. But there's only one cover. We know number 1 was heavily ordered. So I'm more interested in this book to see where the story goes. So, but again, what is this character all about? What does this mean?
This means she's just hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't break down and buy Skull Diggers.
Skull Diggers doesn't come out until next week, bud.
Right, but I didn't break down and buy them. There's like a 1 in 10 or some variant thing. I was going to do it, and then I didn't do it. Yeah,
so Skull Diggers, I guess, is the first story outside of the Black Hammer universe by Jeff Lemire. Am I wrong on that? I don't know. Was there another one? Right. I don't know. So there's a 1 in 10 variant that I think is doing. Yeah, I don't.
Well, Sherlock Frankenstein.
Okay, you guys are right. There's other ones. But anyway, Skull Diggers is the next one. This is his first appearance. He showed it up in like not a panel, but like a 1-page like little clip of a thing in a previous book. What was it? The World of Black Hammer book. So it wasn't really a comic per se, but anyways, the point is these books look like okay books. I like the 1 in 10 because it's by Jeff Lemire. Surprise, surprise. Right, Sean? I want you to say that. Surprise, surprise.
Wait, this character's in Black Hammer?
It hasn't appeared yet, no, but it's within the universe. So he appeared in like there's a 1-page panel in World of Black Hammer #1. But it's not a panel because it's just like it just shows a character design if you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So this is going to be his first appearance. Looks like a kid.
Oh, I would assume it is. I mean, Lemire's great at writing these stories about superhero children. I mean, Sweet Tooth is good, and I mean, all of his other books always have like they usually have aspects of children and retrospective life of childhood or whatever. Anyways, my point is, it's going to be a good book. I like it. I like it already.
Okay.
I don't even read Black Hammer, and I think this is a good book. Have I ordered any? No. So, I mean, am I going to try to get that 1 in 10 variant? Yes. Am I going to get one? Probably not. So, it is what it is. The other book that comes out, which is a really highly anticipated book, is Doomsday Clock 12.
The finale?
The final issue.
Wow.
You guys reading this book? No.
2 years, 3 years later?
I'll tell you this much. You ready? Once it comes out in a trade paperback, I'll read it.
When did it did, but only like the first 10 issues. When did
What? Really?
Yeah, when did
that's whack.
start filming? Because that's when like issue 1 came out, right?
Dude, I wasn't collecting fucking comic
Like
books
forever ago.
Okay.
My point is there's 3
That's
covers.
how long ago it was.
One is a yellow blank cover. These are all like order as many as you want. What is a yellow blank cover? There's a cover with Superman with blood on it, like the smiley face, and then there's one with Dr. Manhattan and Superman.
Who's the middle one? Is that Gary Frank? You know? Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I do believe that's what it says there.
This is how painfully
pretty nice.
long the series is. I think I've written, about almost 50 weekly articles.
I think you're at 40. I think you're at 40 something, honestly.
Okay. And I probably didn't start writing for the first 6 months because it took me about 6 months to get adjusted to comics again.
Yeah.
And when I started reading comics, they were already it had already come out. That's how long it took Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
You're at
2
47.
years? Yeah. What I mean,
I would
2
say
years,
at
maybe?
least
18 months?
2. Yeah.
At least 2? Okay.
That's what I'm
Craziness.
thinking. I'm thinking March of 2019.
No, it's
March
a while.
of 2017.
It was a while.
I'm thinking March of 2017 is what I'm guessing.
But my point is, I'm interested in where this book goes and if this is going to tie
Absolutely.
into the Watchmen TV series. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well,
Oh
I
no!
mean-
How could it tie into the Watchmen TV series? That's a great question. I don't know. I'm just interested in where it goes and what's going on with it. Why was it delayed for so long? So I don't know. Maybe that was the Watchmen TV series. I doubt it. But why was it delayed for so long? So that's why I'm interested in what's going on here.
Okay.
And if there's any connections. I doubt there's any connections, and I bet it's a conspiracy that I'm making up in my head, and I'm not even reading Doomsday Clock. But I am really hoping that something happens, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So those are the books of next week that I think are cool. Maybe there will be other ones that we'll talk about next week. I doubt it, though. I mean, dude, like, all I know is Nico better come up with some good topics for next week. Because, based on this right now, it's not going to be good. Hey, Nick Key Collector, come up with some news because this is garbage.
Didn't have any Marvel variants this week.
Well, apparently, according to our chat, there is a 1 in 10 John Boy Myers for Spider-Man.
Marvel Super
12.
Action.
Well, it's Marvel's Super Action Spider-Man 12, I guess, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You guys watch Watchmen this week? I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a controversial episode. I can talk about that without spoiling it. Well, I mean, I think the last 2 episodes have been the ones that have been like cliffhanger ones, where it's like, show me the next episode. But at the same time, I haven't really been. It's very slow, I find.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like.
I think it's doing a lot of story work. It's not a lot of like interaction dialogue.
Just tell stuff I don't care about.
A lot of backstory. It's a lot of backstory. I think it's cool because it does show kind of how everything could tie into Alan Moore's story, I think, to a point. Obviously, he's making it up as he goes, and I think it's cool. There was also a lot of chatter because the Emmys came out this week, like as to why the show wasn't nominated for anything. I don't think it was.
No, it got absolutely snubbed.
Yeah. Now, it's not over yet, so does that matter? I don't know.
I don't know. It was tremendous.
I don't think it does, because they usually, don't the TV shows, don't they just nominate like one episode?
Did it happen within the time period? Because doesn't it like, it's not every, like when they announce the awards, it's not everything up to then, right? Like it's usually.
No, but The Irishman got a bunch, and that just came out, didn't it?
No, because The Irishman came out in theaters in September.
We're talking about Oscars and Emmys. Those are two different things. But anyway.
But they're the same thing. And don't they have a movie category for the Emmys as well? The Golden Globes? Am I wrong? I believe they do.
Globes, that's a completely different thing. And yes, the Golden Globes, those movies. And
isn't that what the Emmys are? What are the Emmys?
I don't even know what the fuck's happening right now. So these are different award shows.
Same thing.
The Emmys are the Golden Globes.
No, look.
So my point is,
the Emmys are not the Golden Globes.
What are the Emmys?
I don't even know what's happening right now. Okay.
The Oscars.
No, the Emmys aren't the
Academy
Oscars.
Awards.
What the hell are you talking about? What?
What
are guys? Guys,
it's not complicated. The Oscars are the Academy Awards.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
One show.
There you go.
Emmys, second show. Oscars, Academy Awards are movies. Emmys, television show. Grammys.
No. What are the
music?
What's
the Golden Globes? Does TV and film.
Yeah.
People's Choice does TV, film, and music.
Whatever.
What about the Razzies?
The Razzies, all three. MTV, all three.
What about the porn awards?
We'll have to talk to Blind Adam. So I really enjoyed the Watchmen TV show. There's a lot going on that show. If you get a chance to watch the series, I would encourage you to give it a try. I think it's a slow burn. You're going to have to get through at least 3 episodes before you can make a decision about whether or not you enjoy it. We're going to try our best to
You're still talking about V-Wars?
V-Wars was terrible. It reminded me of a high school film, like an art film.
What if it got better over time, though? What if V-Wars got better and you said no?
I don't know, dude. It was pretty bad.
Well, we thank you for agonizing for us.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna watch it. I only put it on as a joke, but I knew it was trash. And then I think what should I put on after some? I knew it was gonna be trash, vampire show. Dude, it's we're almost in 2020. We're having shows about vampires. I mean, the
TV show the V-Wars TV show was garbage, but the V-Wars comic book is pretty good.
Yeah, and zombies are over, Jimmy. We're back to vampires again. Blade, you ever heard of him?
Good point.
Blade, ever heard of him? Probably not. You probably never even heard of Wesley Snipes before. Kind of sad.
I mean, it really is disappointing. I don't know why Jimmy doesn't like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
I think that's all we had for this week.
Okay.
We had a pretty action-packed week, I think. I'm glad we pushed
action-packed.
I think we did. We had an action-packed episode. I'm glad we pushed Nico to do his thing at the beginning because he talked the entire episode. Did you see that? There was no lapse in him not talking. I like that. There's no pressuring him into talking. That's what I like. I like having everybody engaged, and I think we found out our great recipe of getting Nico involved more, and I like that.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
It's legal in a lot of states now.
Jesus.
What is?
To be engaged.
I'm fine with that. Nico, you want free healthcare? Okay, I'll talk to you. We'll see you guys again next week.
To all of our viewers, thank you for your support.
Thanks again for watching. And I will probably have another one of those top 100 videos coming out soon at some point.
Oh,
I guess.
Hey, Dinesh, Hive Mind, Saturday.
With this week Saturday?
Saturday?
Yeah.
What's
on my calendar.
What's the date?
9 bells.
Today's December 10th. So what's the date?
13th. The 13th.
I don't think that's
how
the calendar works. But okay, I'm excited for that.
14th.
Okay, Dinesh. Okay, cool. We'll catch you guys later. Remember Dinesh.
Yeah.
Dinesh.
On the 14th.
Yeah.
Like I said.